This is me leaning on the map thing, and he was like right here standing. So I figured like, okay, this is maybe just somebody standing, waiting for the train on this side to come. But I noticed like this person wasn't moving. So I'm looking down at my phone. I see it at the corner of my eye. Tell me why I look up and he was dead in my face. I said, "Where are you? Hi guys, so in today's video I'll be sharing with you how this guy became obsessed with me in 2017. Crazy. I didn't expect it at all because he became so nice and sweet, and it's just like a whole switcheroo. 2017, hot summer day, around the time that I had met him, I was with these group of Muslim friends that I had just met the ending of 2016 or something like in the 2016. I met these group of friends, and we always at the masjid. That's one thing I loved about these group of friends that I had. They always make sure you pray on time, like you're doing what you have to do as a Muslim. You know, it was like that with us, but it didn't really last long because I found out some information that was like bizarre, like crazy. So if y'all want to know about that, leave it in the comments down below. That's a whole story time about them, just the group of friends that I was with. So yes guys, so the guy that who became obsessed with me, right? So after we had all met up at the masjid, we all prayed. Now in the masjid, if you don't know or if you're not Muslim, when you go pray, it's like a building, and it's like 2 levels. So the men is on the first floor, and then a lot of times the woman is up on the upper level. So like you have to go up the stairs to pray. We don't pray together, separated. We do everything separate when it comes to like praying in the masjid. So yes guys. So yeah, after we was done praying, we said, okay, we're gonna meet right in front of the building so we could just all like maybe do something or get something to eat or just go our separate ways. Cause it was like it was like 6 something I believe, but I remember it was dark outside. So yeah, when we all came outside, I had noticed the guy standing there at the edge of the corner, I guess you would say, just minding his business, or the case may be. So the main guy that I was friends with first, he noticed that I was looking at him, and he looked at me, he was like, don't do it. And I'm like, why? What do you mean? He was like, listen to me. Do not talk to that man, okay? And I'm like, why? But he wouldn't give me a reason. And you know, I'm not the type of person, well, I don't think I'm like this anymore, but if you don't really give me a reason on something that I really want to do, or I really want to try out, and I feel like, what are you hiding here? So it's like I have to find out for myself, you know? And you know, you go through life and then you just have to figure out things on your own if you feel like you really have to or want to. I was like that back then. I don't know if I'm like that now, but yes, y'all. So we didn't speak that day. I didn't say anything to him. I just noticed that he was there all by himself and stuff. And then of course my main friend, he had introduced us and stuff, very chill, very to himself. And yeah, he didn't really say much, I guess, because I don't know, we all went about our business after that. And I didn't speak to him until like maybe towards the ending of 2017. Because I had noticed him on Facebook. I said, oh, I remember seeing him at the master, so let me add him, because he seemed like really nice, very like chill, very to himself. He didn't really like, you know, seem like he was like the guy to like get into any trouble. So and then we was like talking wise, conversation, chopping it up, getting to know each other here and there. And then he said, we should hang out sometime. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I was like free. I was working in Harlem at the time too, so it's like I always was free on the weekend. And it was cool, chill vibes, very nice, very gentleman. He was Muslim, of course. And the more I got to know him, the more I started to like him. You know, the regular stuff when you're learning someone, of course, you're going to like them in the first stages. Yes, you are. So after that, it's been like, we were speaking for 5 months exactly. I remember. I will never forget it. Because I don't know, I'm the type of person that I like to keep up to date with like how long I'm talking to somebody. I don't know, I've been doing that all my life, and it's just what I'm used to. So after all of that, of the us getting to learn each other and stuff like that, he would share some experience with me that's very personal and stuff like that. And the way I understood the reason why he was like became like obsessed with me in a way, because first things first, he didn't have nobody really. He just had me and like the group of friends that I was with, but they wasn't really around too much. They was like doing their own thing for the most part. So it was mainly just me and him together, learning each other, starting to like each other a lot, and I was beginning to be his comfort. And but not in the best way, because he would start to like call and text me like unusual, like as a normal person would do. Like, you know how it's like, you like, oh, I miss you, we should do this and this and that. But it was like too much of like what a regular person would do, trying to be cute and stuff with you. That's how it started out. Like, and then I said to him, like, listen, I feel like I need like some time to breathe, because I feel like it's getting too much for me. He understood it. He was very respectful and stuff like that. So after the time I took away from him, I said, okay, I am starting to miss him. So that's when we started talking again. And once we started talking again, same vibe type of things, but I think it's because he missed me so much, he was starting to get more attached. And I was like, okay, this is very, very different. And I didn't really know how to handle it at the time. So the first crazy thing that I heard him say to me was like, if we ever don't work out and then the next girl that comes along, I'm going to treat her like trash. You're going to treat her like what? That was the first red flag that I had noticed. Like, you're going to treat her like what? Because of, like, okay, so, and then what was weird to me as well is that, like, every time he would walk me to the bus stop from his apartment, once I would get on the bus stop and sit down, and then the bus drives off, he would automatically text me, I miss you. At first, I'm like, oh, okay, it's cute and everything. And then I kind of ignored it, because it's like, okay, like maybe he's just trying to be nice and sweet and stuff like that. Then he would do it constantly. Every time, like, we would just separate from each other. And then, yeah, it would just be beginning to be like too much at once, you know? So, yeah, so this is when it gets like really, really like crazy, okay? So, this is a time where I was like, okay, I don't think I want to deal with this man anymore, because it was to the point where I was starting to get headaches, because I'm very sensitive to energy. So it's like whatever energy a person got going on, if it's like really, really strong and they got a lot going on, I pick up on it, you know? So it's like, it was like that, and I really didn't know how to get out. So the only thing I could think of is to like tell him how I feel and stuff. But the thing is, he wasn't listening. You know, those people like you share how you feel and you want them to like change this and change that and stuff like that, and they understand, but then they fight you back on it. It was like that. It was like, yeah, it was like that. So it's like the only thing I could do was block him. So that's what I did. I blocked him. Because it's like, yo, blocking is my favorite button. If you're not listening or you're not like caring what I have to say, you're gonna get blocked. Like, that's my favorite button. So then this man decides to call nonstop. Text, no, not really text. It was mainly the calling. That was the crazy thing. It was very, very interesting, because I don't know how he was able to call me back to back to back from all of these different numbers. It was so weird, y'all. It was so weird. Like, you know how somebody's calling you, right? And you don't answer, or you like ignore the call. Once I ignored the call, another call would come right after that. It was, how was he doing that? It wasn't adding up. And that was like, oh, it would be over literally 60 phone calls, and I'm not even being dramatic. I wish I could show y'all, but it was my old phone, because I had to change my phone number, because this man would not stop. And you know what, another crazy thing? This man decides to not come up in here, but this man decides to ring my doorbell that same night with the texting and the calling nonstop. Okay, so it started at like maybe 10, 11 at nighttime, all the way up until he got here, 6 in the morning. He didn't stop until like 5. I was sleeping by then. I had fell asleep like around maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. This was like the summertime, so I wasn't really working. I didn't really do I don't think I did the summer, because I was working with kids at the time, so I don't think I did summer, the summer youth thing. I mean, the summer camp. Because within after school, if you are like after school teacher, you get to choose if you want to do like the summer with the kids or not. So I don't remember if I was doing that, but I don't think I was, because I don't think I was mainly home for the most part. But yeah, anyway, so yeah. So this man decides to ring my doorbell 6 in the morning, y'all. 6 in the morning, we just waking up. Like, actually, everybody was still sleeping at the time. Pretty much, yeah. We were still sleeping, knocked out, trying to get the best sleep of our life. And he want to ring the doorbell, like, and we was confused, like, who is this? Because at first we were like, we know the delivery don't come this early. It's too early for a delivery package to come. That was our first thought. And then I said, if it's not the delivery, who could it be? Or we was thinking, like, maybe it's a neighbor and something happened and need our help. That was our second thought, right? And then we like, okay, hold on. We know it's not this boy, because I told my mother that same night he kept calling, texting. It was so weird. I showed her all the phone calls, everything. I showed my oldest. Everybody knew that he was like kind of like wonky in the head, you know, at this point. So, like, okay, so yeah. So my mother had went to the door. She was like, who is it? And I think he was so close to the what is it called? What is this called? The what is it called? I guess I would just say the peephole. He was so close to it, you can't really tell who it was. I guess because he was just trying to hide. So whoever opens the door, it's like, surprise, I'm here. But my mother didn't open the door because we didn't know. We know his voice, so we knew it was him. And we didn't want to open the door because we didn't know if he had like a weapon on him or anything. To go backwards a little bit, I noticed that he always had like, you know that thing? It's like knives with different sizes, and you could just take it out like, like say if you want to cut an apple or open up a package that you have, and you could just use that. That's the kind of knife set that he had. So with me like going through the process of like not really knowing what to do, I would talk to my family about it, of course, and I would just tell them little stuff like that. So they kind of knew that he would have like some type of like weapon on him in some type of way, because he always carried it in I think it was his left pocket. He would always carry it. He would not go anywhere with that knife thing for some reason. I don't know, maybe because like he felt like he always had to protect himself in a way because of like what he'd been through in his lifetime of living or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, he always had it in his pocket, and I'll never forget that, because he always told me he would carry it every time he would leave his home. Okay, so we didn't answer the door. So after that, my mom was like, okay, you have to leave. You can't be here right now. Like, Shakira doesn't want to see you. And he would not leave. So my brother tried it. He was like, listen, man, like, you have to go. Like, you're getting kind of crazy here. Like, you can't do this. Like, it's not good, you know? He still wouldn't go. So it was to the point where we had to call the cops to, like, secure him downstairs where he belongs to catch the bus to go home, you know? It was like that. And you know what's so crazy? We even told him that we're calling the cops, and this man still did not leave. He still didn't leave, which is crazy. So it's like, dang, this man don't really care, like, at all. So, fast forward. After that, I think that same day, I felt so, like, embarrassed, and, like, I was crying and everything, because I felt like I was causing harm to my family, you know? You know, I learned that, sorry, that's my twins. I don't know what's going on out there. My mother and my sister's out there. I don't know what's happening, but let's hurry up and finish this, okay? So, you know how someone comes in your life, right? And then you feel like they're only causing harm to you, but all in reality, you're bringing someone into your home that can cause harm to everybody else. That's exactly how I felt of what I was doing when I let this person come into my life. That's exactly how I felt. I was crying and everything. I'm like, I'm so sorry, y'all, Because he could have done anything. I don't know. Like, I knew him, but not on, like, that type of level of, like, where you want to harm someone, you know? So it was that. So that same day, I changed my number. We all went together to change my number, everything. And you know what's so crazy? Like, when I'm ordering something or when I have to type in my number, that number still comes up on my whole new phone that I have, and it's so weird. I don't know. But yeah, y'all. So after that, maybe like a month went past, month and a half went past. It was fine. I didn't hear from him. I didn't see him. I didn't bump into him or anything. But okay, I was downtown with these group of girls that I used to be friends with. I'm no longer friends with them either. That's another story time if you want to hear about it. And we was like all hanging out, just having fun, just like a girls' night. And I think it was like around 10 going on 11 something. We was on 34th Street, and I decided, I'm like, okay, it's getting late, y'all. I gotta go because you know I live far. So I decided to take the 2 train. Yeah, because 34th Street, the train wasn't too far from where we was at. So we all had walked to the train together, and we all kind of had to went our separate ways because we didn't really live like close to one another. It was like that because I was the furthest, and then one of them drove a car, and then another one had to go to the D line. It was like that. It was very separated, and so I was by myself at this point. And so I'm waiting for the train on 34th Street Penn Station, and I know. Okay, so where I was standing, I was like near the map where the map is at, and I was leaning on it. So I'm like on my phone, minding my business, right? And I see people walk past. They're walking past, going where they gotta go, minding their business. But I'm looking down at my phone. I can feel someone just standing here, like this is me leaning on the map thing, and he was like right here standing. So I figured like, okay, this is maybe it's just somebody standing waiting for the train on this side to come. But I noticed like this person wasn't moving. So I'm looking down at my phone. I see it at the corner of my eye. Tell me why I look up and he was dead in my face. I said, and then I started booking it down all the way to the first cart of the train. And then, because you know what's so crazy? He had a cane at that too. So I'm like, oh, he looked so like, I don't know, very, very terrible. You could tell he was probably drinking and smoking and stuff like that. Yeah, it was just really, really bad. He didn't really look good at all during that time. So I'm like, okay, let me just try to secure myself and make sure I get as far as I can. Because the thing is, I didn't want to leave the train station and he can easily like get to me that way where I'm outside. No. I had to stay where it's the most people, where I can like, you know. And I'm so happy that it was a whole bunch of people on the train. Even before the train came, I was sitting next to this guy. He was like kind of like stocky. You could tell he works out and stuff. But the thing is, I didn't want to tell anyone what was going on because I don't like to put people in my problems, you know. I don't know, because I feel like, I don't know, that's just the way I was thinking at the time. So when I got on the train, I'm so freaking happy that the train was packed. The train was full of beautiful human beings. I'm like, yes, thank the Lord. Because if it was like a little bit empty to where like you can see the seats and stuff, I would have been more worried. But I think I would have just stayed on the train, because it's like, what are you gonna do to me in front of like, even if it was like 2-3 people, what are you gonna do? Because I will fight back, of course, to protect myself, but it's like, what are you actually gonna do? You know? But that train was full of people. So I was just sitting there minding my business, like nothing ever happened, nothing's going on. He stayed on the whole train until I had to get off Gun Hill Road. And the crazy thing is, he doesn't even live on my side. He lives on the D train side. Like, more like on the 1 train side, actually. That's the side he was living on at the time. So, yeah, it was crazy. Crazy. Like, and I don't think he knew I noticed him, but I did. So even though if it was a lot of people on the train, I still noticed him. He was standing there. It was so like awkward, but not really because there was a whole bunch of people on the train. So yeah, after that, and it was so crazy. I feel like with all those people on the train, Allah was like protecting me with y'all. Let me tell you, that train was packed. OD, like, and I'm so thankful that I even got a seat because I think somebody had got off and I was close to the seat, so I just sat down right there. And so that was like a first protection in my idea of like being protected from this man. Second protection I feel like Allah has given me is that once I got off the train on Gun Hill Road, two Hispanic cops was standing there. I never see cops just standing on the platform. They always probably like downstairs or outside. Rarely, especially at that time, I don't really see them, which is like, okay, yeah, you ain't getting me. You is not getting me. So I hurried up and said, excuse me, is this man following me? This is what he have on. And once I said, he's right, this man speeds down the freaking steps with the cane. You would have thought his leg wasn't hurting him after. You would have thought his leg was fine. Once I said, he's right there, that man was gone. He was gone. So like, so they had walked me down the stairs and stuff. They said, like, okay, like, and I was still explaining to him what he was wearing and stuff. So they walked down with me because I said, oh, he's going down the stairs. So we tried to, y'all, by the time we got down the first, because on Gun Hill Road, there's a lot of steps. So once we got down to the first level of steps, I didn't see him. And then, like, it's a second level, and then it's like the escalator. If you know Gun Hill Road, it's like the escalator. I didn't even see him going down the escalator or anything, so he must have been running down the steps that's on the two sides. Yo, it was so annoying. So once we got outside and stuff, I didn't even see him outside either. So they had walked me to the side that I need to be on to take the bus stop. I need to catch the 28 bus to get to Co-op City. And I did not see him or anything. And this is when I started to like bug out a little bit, because you know how your brain is like going everywhere and you feel like you see him but you don't see him, and then you feel like he's like on the side of, I don't know. I felt like, you know, on the bus stop, the three seats, I thought he was sitting in the center of the seats. I swear to you, I thought that man was sitting there, but he was not. I said, okay, I need to calm my brain down because I'm doing too much. I was starting to like freak out and have like panic a little bit. Because I just wanted to hurry and get home, like, honestly, because I just wanted this night to be over. So I didn't see him there, but here we go. I get on the bus, right? And before I got on the bus, they said, okay, well, if you see him, just scream. We're going to hear you because, like, it's very quiet, and at night you can hear echoes and stuff like that. Everything was calm and stuff, so if somebody screams, you can hear them automatically. I said, okay, I'm going to do that. And my voice is very powerful because, listen, okay? Very, very powerful. Especially when you're, like, in harm. Everybody's voice becomes powerful for some reason. If your voice don't come powerful for some reason, I don't know. You need to practice. So, yes, girl. So, this is the crazy part, right? So, I get on the bus. Everything's cool. I even checked behind me just to make sure, like, because I was still bugging out, like, so I got on the bus, put my metro card in, and then I sit down like in the front because I didn't want to go to the back because he could have easily got on the back of the bus and did, I don't know. I just wanted to be in the front where the bus driver was at so he could see what was going on easily. And the doors closed. Next stop, nobody's there. Second stop, doors open, somebody comes in, and this man, once the doors like is about to close, this man comes on the side of the bus on this side, and I'm sitting here, and I see him on the outside of the bus trying to get in the freaking bus, and that was Allah protect me again because the bus driver didn't even look his way. He continued to close the door and drive off. And then the crazy part is, when the bus had drive off, he looked me dead in my eyes, and he did like, you know how you act like you're shooting somebody? That's what he did to me. I said, oh, okay. Okay, now you want to play with my safety. Okay. Okay, so this is when I had text my friend. I said, okay, I'm on my way home. Can you please meet me downstairs because someone is following me, and I don't know if he's like gonna catch the next bus or whatever the case may be. Because he met my family before and everything, so he knew where I lived. So that's why my friend knew. I'm like, okay, can you please meet me downstairs? Like, this is going on, this, and that, and that. I told him everything, right? What was this? Like the fourth or third protection I felt. Fourth protection. Once I got to like my stop, these group of men was outside. These group of men was, I never, like every time I get home like a certain time, I never really see that many people outside all at once. It's very rare because people be sleeping or they're somewhere else partying, whatever the case may be. I never seen that much men all in one spot hanging out together. I was like, yo. So if my friend didn't make it downstairs in time, I would have just went to them. Like, can y'all please walk me to my building? Please, somebody. Like, so yes, guys. So once I was like walking towards the men because I didn't see my friend, I saw my friend. I said, okay. And they looked at me like, they can tell something was wrong because I was walking really, really fast. But I see my friend, so I just walked towards him. And then I gave him a hug and everything. Then he walked me to my building. And that was that. And then I think we contacted the police again. I believe so. But I'm not too sure. I don't really remember what we did after that. So yeah, the police called me. They were checking up on me and everything. It was really sweet. But and then yeah, after that, that was it. I haven't heard from him since then. So since 2018, I haven't heard from him at all. So yeah, guys, this was like one of the most craziest things I've ever been through, and I feel like I was in a movie. Like, so yes, guys, I'm sorry for the noise in the background, and yeah. Yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.